All week long, we are talking about motivating me. One of those things that sometimes can be challenging to do. Sometimes on a Friday morning, it can be challenging to be motivated to do just about anything, especially if you were up late watching a football game the night before. So today, we are going to talk about motivating me when we're unmotivated and more on episode 939 of today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote provides an opportunity for business owners and leaders to discover what is real for them and to be impacted by what is real for others. That is the Renegade way. Let's get real. We all face challenges and get stuck occasionally and are looking for an antidote. Each weekday, this show dives into a topic that may have you stuck, frustrated, and uncertain. Our goal is to share our value in an effort to help you find that one thing, the antidote to your challenges, so that you can get results and make more money. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Hey, Tom. Good morning.
Good morning. It's Bob on the go today. How are you?
BOTG.
You're clearly not unmotivated.
No, well, it's funny you brought up the opening. You're the third person I've talked to this morning. I've been having some early meetings. Third person I've talked to this morning who was unmotivated today. And the odd thing is I'm super motivated. Like I'm really wound up because I got a good night's sleep. My cats didn't bother me. So I'm like on my game today, and everyone else is sort of, oh, why it's Friday and, it's getting colder and it's blah, blah, blah.
I didn't say that.
No.
I'm not unmotivated. I just overslept. There's a difference.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a difference.
I thought you were suggesting you were unmotivated.
No. That's why when you asked if we wanted to just cancel, just not do it today, I was like, nope. I was motivated to do it. I was so motivated that when I looked at my phone in bed and it said 6:57, I hopped right up out of bed and said, I got to get going and get there as quick as I can.
Okay. All right. For those of you who think that there's a lot of pre-production for this.
Correct. And even if there was, it wasn't today.
So, a lot of people struggle with motivation in the morning, and I actually struggle with motivation in the afternoon. I really have a hard time after lunch being motivated. And some people I know are really, really struggle late in the morning, and it can be different parts of the day. So it just doesn't have to be, starting the day. And other people get unmotivated when there are certain types of meetings. Oh, we have our weekly meeting. I hate our weekly meeting. I'm not motivated. I'd just like to call in sick or whatever. So this is not just early morning. That's one thing I wanted to get across. Second thing is, I think that's fairly common. I don't think we talk about it a lot, but, think of back when you were in high school, elementary school. There were plenty of days where you were unmotivated, but you had to go because the bus came or your parents would kill you if you didn't go to school. And so I think we learn at an early age that, one, you're unmotivated at certain times, and two, you have to sort of press on. And I think as a business owner, one of the struggles that I see with some people is we can excuse ourselves much more easily as business owners or leaders than we can when we're working for someone else. It's like, well, I'm the owner and it's Friday and it's kind of cool outside and it's going to be 85 degrees later. You know what? I'm just not going to work today. I'm going to goof off. This would be a really good golf day. In fact, I've already had someone suggest this would be a really good golf day. And I'm like, no, I've got some work I've got to get done. And they're like, no, come on. It's going to be the last good golf day of the year. That can be, now that's motivating to go play golf, but unmotivating to go do my job. And I think that's the other thing we have. It's like we have the freedom and flexibility of an owner to do whatever we want. And sometimes we can abuse that luxury with, what I don't want to do is this thing. So I'm going to do what I want to avoid doing what I really should be doing. And then complaining about it 2 days later going, I don't know what, I'm really not finding the benefit of the business. I'm putting in all the effort, but I'm not getting the results. And sometimes it's, well, what kind of effort did you put in? I make a lot of calls. Like I was on a coaching call with a couple other guys yesterday, and the coach was telling us you need to make like 100 touches of people, contacts a day, by email, by text, by phone. And this guy got on and he said, oh, I did 20 this week. And the coach said to him, okay. And he said, no, I did 20 this week. I'm good. And he was going to take off today. And the coach was like, I'm sorry. Are you trying to achieve a goal? Yeah, I'm trying to achieve a goal. I want to make this much money a month doing this coaching work. And he said, okay, it's going to take you forever to get there doing it the way you're doing it. And I think so. And this guy was just completely like his jaw hit the floor. I thought he was going to cry because he was all excited about the 20. And now he's being told that's a good start. And while if you make the right 20 calls or the best 20 calls, or you have a network of 20 people, it can be really powerful. It could be 20 calls works for you. But in this case, he wasn't there yet. And I think that was a real, he was 20. And so the coach was walking through with him, how do you go past 20? What kind of games can you play with yourself? He's like, do 20 more and then go get a Starbucks coffee. Then do 20 more and go get what kind of lunch you like. Oh my God, I love meatball subs. All right, do 20 more, then go get a meatball sub. And he's like, and I like fries. He's like, all right, if you're going to get meatball sub and fries, that means you have to come back and do 20 more calls. And I think that's one of the ways that we can overcome the struggle with motivation is tie it to some sort of reward that we get. So I used to, I think you remember, at one point we were doing this show and I was writing a book. And if I wrote a certain number of words, I'd go play golf late in the day. And that was a real driver for me to get a book done in a very short time. It's like, I like playing golf. If I do this, I can go play golf. So sometimes I think rewards are a way to overcome the struggle to motivate ourselves.
Sure. Well, and it's interesting. I wonder, there's the motivation of the day and there's the motivation overall. When you're talking about school, I think there were some days that I think I was always motivated to do well, to attend. And some days there were days that I made different choices. So I don't know if that means I was unmotivated or not. Maybe, and I guess that's the question of motivation or commitment. Where does it fall? Because I think you can still be motivated even though you make other choices. I think. I don't know. I was thinking about that while you were talking and I was struggling.
I like commitment as a topic for a week.
Well, I think that's key, figuring out what is commitment. Just like what is motivation? Is motivation right. that for the bigger picture, understanding that in the micro part of it, it might not be as, you might not always be motivated or you might not always be committed. I'm not sure which it is. I think motivation is an interesting word. Or feeling, however you want to look at it, because it's, I think we all feel like motivation is, okay, that means I am committed and driven to doing something. And I guess the question is that over the long haul or in the day, in the moment?
Well, and what's your motivator? Because a lot of people say, well, I just want to have a job where I make money. And then if you really dig deeper, it's like, well, that's not what really drives them. Some people it does, but a lot of people, that's not it. I'm not driven by money. My bank account would suggest that very clearly. Yeah, and if you went out with me tonight after work and said, how was your week? I wouldn't tell you I made this much money from this client, this much money from this client. I would tell you, I had a really great meeting with someone. I really felt like I helped them achieve a new goal, and I'm so excited for them. That's what motivates me. Now, if you're motivated by money, hey, that's great. In some ways, I'm totally jealous because I think I might be in a different place if I'm more motivated by money. But
in a
that
lot of ways.
said, some sort of motivation, I think we all have some sort of motivation. If you don't have a motivation, you wouldn't be a leader and you wouldn't be a business owner. You just wouldn't, because it's not, you just let someone else be motivated and you just go in and move the widgets.
Yeah, and I guess that's I guess to me that goes back to, are you motivated micro or motivated macro? Because I could be motivated over the long haul. I'm just not motivated in the moment.
But I think that's a really great distinction. And I think what happens is when we feel unmotivated in the moment, we extrapolate it, or the people around us extrapolate it to the long haul. They go, oh, you're not motivated today. Oh, Bob, you know what? You should have never started a business. What were you thinking? Well, you know what? It's a pretty Friday in late October. I might not be motivated today. I might just want to go play golf. And that doesn't mean I'm not committed to my goals. It just means I've made some alternate choices. And I think that can be a plus and that can be a minus. And I think so often people who don't understand that, the time shifting is how I like to think of it. I can work today or I can work tomorrow. The work I need to do this week, I can literally do either time. So if I choose to goof off today, that just means Saturday, when most of the people around me are going to be goofing off, I'm probably going to be working. And that also means this week I've had three 13-hour work days. And someone would be like, well, that you've already hit your 40 hours. Yeah, I probably have. But there are things I need to get done this week to achieve what I'm trying to achieve. Big picture. And and I also have to motivate myself to do that. Because I could play golf today if I wanted to. I didn't really think about it until now. Now I'm starting to think that might not be the worst plan. And I could goof off tomorrow, and I could goof off Sunday, and I could come to work Monday morning and either apologize for not getting the things done that I promised people, or, and I've done this, I could get up at 2 a.m. Monday morning and get it done by 9 o'clock, and no one would be the wiser. And my clients aren't going to say to me, hey, Bob, did you get that done Friday during a normal work day, or Saturday when everyone else was goofing off? Or did you get up super early this morning and get it done? All they want is the result.
And for you, or when others looking at you, it's just a judgment, right?
Exactly. Yes.
To say that there's pluses or minuses is really just making a judgment on a decision that you make, rather than just making the decision based on what's real. What's real could be, it's supposed to be a beautiful day today. It's Friday. A lot of other people aren't working. It's a chance to go out and play golf if that's what you want to do, or do something else. Or you could choose to do your work. I mean, I think that's the thing about it is, which are you motivated to do? What motivates you more? To be able to go out and play golf today, or that you want to get your work done because you don't want to have to work on the weekend, or get up ridiculously early Sunday night or Monday morning and do your work. So I think it really just becomes about how you decide to motivate yourself, and which of those options motivates you more. And I think that's the piece. So you might be sitting here today sort of feeling unmotivated about work and more motivated about goofing off or playing golf or doing something else. Then it's just a matter of which wins the day and which is going to motivate you more. If you have big plans,
isn't win the day a judgment in itself?
Of course.
I'm not being flip. I'm just saying, right. It's not about winning the day or losing the day. It's about choosing how I want to have my day. And there are implications of every choice. There are implications. If I can accept the consequences of whatever choice I make. If I play golf, I'm going to be doing some work over the weekend. If I don't play golf, I'm probably going to get to the end of the day and go, boy, I really wish I played golf. And if I somehow try to do a hybrid thing of work till 2 and then play golf, I don't. That's the third option. So, and there are people around me that they're probably listening to this right now going, I can't believe he's even thinking of playing golf. It's Friday. It's a work day. And last Friday, he was off goofing off, if I recall correctly. Oh, yeah, you're right. And that just popped into my head like, well, last Friday I was goofing off. Of course, the work is getting done and no one's calling me and going, hey, you're not getting this stuff done.
And I think here's the challenge, right? Here's the challenge is that all of that is just a judgment on a decision that you make rather than otherwise, and I think the option is just doing what's real and knowing that when you make a choice to do what's real in the moment, that has implications further down the road. And so then you just have to decide at which point are you more motivated to make one choice or the other, do it, and then not judge it. Learn from it. Because you could learn from it and be like, wow, you know what? People were right. It could snow next week. It's not going to snow next week. But it could be cold next week, and you're not gonna be able to play golf ever again. And you could judge yourself of, wow, I'm really glad that I got out and played golf that day.
Right.
You could also judge yourself and be like, wow, I didn't really get the work done. I wish I had gotten the work done.
Right.
Because something else pops up that, now is motivating you to do something different on Saturday and Sunday rather than do the work that you had done. So I think that's the hard part of it is that once we get motivated and make a choice, how do we not judge it? Because there's so many unknown factors that we can't control that would then either make us more, or if we knew, we'd be more or less motivated.
Right.
Right. If you knew that a great opportunity was going to pop up, somebody won a weekend trip to somewhere, and they had to take it today, and they could bring a guest, and you could be like, well, I played golf on Friday. Now, how am I going to get my work done? And then you just because again, we can't control what's coming up in the future, so we just have to make the best decision we can in the moment based on what we think is going to motivate us, and then just live with the decision and have to make other choices based on that decision.
Do you have your one thing?
I think it's different than anything we've really talked about, but I think motivating me, maybe my one thing is that determining whether you're motivated or not in and of itself is a judgment. And so just continue to make choices, and when you make those choices, go all in on those choices and not look back. And that'll help motivate you to do whatever it is you're going to do, rather than worry about the decisions that you made and get stuck in those decisions.
I would echo that and add that don't allow the outside voices to influence you as much as you may. Because so often I think it's the outside voices that kill us.
In all ways, right? So it could be the outside voice that's saying, hey, you should go play golf. Or the outside voice that's telling you, hey, you can't go play golf today. It's a Friday.
Right.
And then we get stuck in the judgment of others and how that impacts us.
Tom, I got to go because some knucklehead just tapped my car.
Oh, boy. It's not good. All right. Well, enjoy your day and let us know your choices. I guess Bob just left. Anyhow, so thanks so much for being with us today on this Friday. If you have one thing that you would like to share about motivating me when you're unmotivated, please feel free to put it in the comments. If you're listening to the podcast or you're listening to the show later on when it's not live, please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas, whether it be in the comments or if you're on the podcast and you can't share it in the comments. Please join us in our Sculpt Your Business from Chaos and Confusion to Confidence and Control Facebook group, where you can share your thoughts and ideas there. With that, thank you for being a part of this show. We hope that you have a great weekend, and we look forward. We'll see you Monday morning, 7 a.m.-ish Eastern time, for our next episode of today's Antidote. And as Bob would say, hey, remember to go out and embrace the renegade you. It is so worth it. All right, everyone, go out and enjoy your day. Get motivated for whatever choice you make and live with that choice. Don't judge it. And then we will see you soon. Hey, that's just a quick note. We have a webinar coming up. We know that some people's businesses aren't as healthy as they would like to be, and they're not quite sure how to get it healthier, especially because they're looking forward to 2024 being maybe their best year yet. Well, if that's the case for you, you're going to want to mark on your calendar December 5th. That says 2024. Actually, it should be December 5th, 2023, this year. At 12 noon Eastern, we're going to run a webinar to help you sculpt a healthier business in 2024. So mark your calendars. We'll have more information about that soon.